The Kardashian-Jenner sisters have done it again, and even during this pandemic, they still managed to make the headlines. And this time, it was Khloe and Kourtney, probably because they haven't been able to earn much money lately. Have you heard about the toilet paper drama? If not, hit the bell and subscription button and stay with me to find out what Khloe has done this time. So let's get to it. I mean, all of these things that are happening on a daily basis makes me think that we have the worst idols for our future generation to look up to. If you mess everything up, no one should really blame them. I mean, just look at the examples that most of the famous families in America are setting for these kids. From Kylie's lips to the whole family's unusual big bottoms. The level of ignorance in this whole family is something I can never get used to. The fact that they are constantly being criticized for whatever they do kind of makes sense. The Kardashian-Jenner sisters are one of those celebrities who are hated as much as they're loved. There's no middle ground for them, and one of the reasons why they're continually being criticized is that people think that they pretend to be what they are not. This is one of the reasons why they have been accused of cultural appropriation a lot of times. The first example that I want to mention occurred some time ago when Kylie decided to post a photo of her with the cornrow braids. The braid was not that scandalous, but the tag she used was. The picture was accompanied by the hashtag #WhiteGirlsDoItBetter. As expected, the hashtag became a trend on Twitter, but not because people believed that Kylie looked better in that style, but quite the contrary. It turns out that the youngest of the sisters received criticism from people and even some celebrities such as actress Amandla Stenberg, and she did not beat around the bush and directly accused her of cultural appropriation. Oh, and it is not that bad either. I don't care what ordinary people do, but these sisters are celebrities. They need to be more careful. But Kylie was not the only one. In fact, the next member of the family I'm going to talk about was also involved in the same kind of drama. A few years ago, Khloe shared a photo with a niqab during her trip to Dubai. It's a garment that some Muslim women wear. However, not all must do so on a mandatory basis, nor do all countries require it. Precisely because of this ignorance, many users commented that Khloe had seen it more as a costume than a cultural garment. There was also this time when Khloe decided to put on a huge Native American Indian plum, and on that occasion, they not only branded her as ignorant for not even knowing which tribe the garment belonged to, but they also accused her of cultural appropriation. I'm saying this again, maybe if it was you and me that did this, it'd be fine. But when it comes to the Kardashian-Jenner tribe, things are different. They are public figures. People actually look up to them. And it seems that the taste for Arab culture is not only in the blood of Kris's daughters, but also in those who decide to join the clan. For the 2014 Halloween celebration, Khloe herself posted a picture of Scott Disick and Chris Reda, one of his friends, and they were both dressed in traditional Arab outfits. On that occasion, Khloe herself decided to read some of the messages from people during the show. One of them said, "Wow, that's offensive. Can't expect anything less from a Kardashian." And you know what Khloe's reaction was? She did not understand what had offended them. Ignorance is a blessing for sure. Kendall also had her own share of being ignorant after she decided to appear in a Pepsi commercial in 2017. Almost as soon as the commercial was released, criticism flooded in. It just seemed like Kendall had signed the contract without even reading the script. Pepsi was trying to project a global message of unity, peace, with handing a Pepsi to the police. How dare they ridicule the brave move of Lashia Evans and turn it into something so cheap in a commercial? I mean, was this a joke to her? Speaking of jokes, last year when Kim announced that she was going to somehow change her career in 2022, everyone thought that she was joking. And in case you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, it turns out that the brand new Mrs. West announced on her Instagram account and also in the May issue of Vogue magazine that she had decided to study law and take her degree in 2022. After Kim announced this, she received tons of messages, many of them charged with hatred. However, on this occasion, Kim expressed her intention to make people understand that just because she was Kim Kardashian, that didn't mean that she could not pursue her dreams and goals. And you know what? I fully agree with her on that. Don't you think so? Tell me what you think in the comments. So going back to the times when the family members have had to deal with harsh criticism, there's this one time that is certainly remembered among fans. And I'm talking about that one time when Scott Disick and Khloe shared a controversial meme that, in a pun, referred to the also controversial Ku Klux Klan, better known as simply the KKK. And in the image, you could see Khloe, Kim, and Kourtney with the caption, "The only KKA to ever let in black men." As if that wasn't already too much, Scott added, "and a Jew" to it, referring to himself. Ignorant, filthy, and racist were among the softest of the criticisms. Among the most controversial moment, there was this one time that they were criticized not long ago. I mean, this time it was Kourtney who was hit with the backlash after taking a sip of water from her plastic bottle during an episode of the family reality show. You might think that this is just too much. But the truth is that the scandal was exaggerated because Kourtney herself had criticized her younger sister Kim for doing exact same thing. People did not forgive her hypocrisy, and boy did they let her know. Less than 24 hours later, Kim herself announced that she had disposed of all plastic bottles that were in her house. Well, at least sometimes the fan reviews have a positive result. That's at least a good sign. And now, yes, we get to the point that everyone has been waiting for to arrive. The famous quarantine joke in which Khloe was criticized for so much. The family always has to go too far. They can never joke around like normal people. Many think that the situation, the confinement, and everything related to this pandemic is what's making this whole world act weirdly, and perhaps they're right. But I believe when your jokes are lame, they're just lame in any situation, and it has nothing to do with this pandemic. By the way, speaking of the pandemic and confinement, this is not the first time that the Kardashian-Jenners have received such harsh criticism during the quarantine. Kanye West, for example, had already been heavily criticized for traveling to Wyoming with his children. And Kendall was also criticized for taking a road trip with NBA player Devin Booker. But, well, according to fans and non-fans, Khloe's thing went beyond the limits of irresponsibility and social sensitivity. A few days ago, Kourtney shared some recordings of her house covered in toilet paper, which was apparently the artwork of Aunt Khloe and Little Mason.
So I haven't had this much excitement in months. This is what I come out to. This is what Mason and Coco do when they have a sleepover. This is actually genius. P, look at this.
I know, I already saw it.
What do you think about it?
It was Mason and Coco, I saw them.
Well, next time, guess what we're gonna do, P?
What is so surreal about this whole thing is that Kourtney called the incident a genius. We assume that we have very different concepts of genius. And is that for many users that the behavior is nothing more than a lack of empathy and responsibility, because at this precise moment in history, there are millions of people in the United States and the rest of the world is struggling to find a package of toilet paper. Among the messages that some of the users wrote about them were things like this: "Despite all the Tristan stuff, I didn't think Khloe Kardashian would be that stupid to TP her sister Kourtney's mansion during a time where people literally are struggling to find a 6-pack of toilet paper." Or, "Khloe Kardashian proudly toilet papers Kourtney Kardashian's mansion as a prank even though there's a worldwide shortage of toilet paper. Can this whole annoying family just go away now, please?" I mean, I am speechless. Honestly, I thought Khloe was my favorite in this family, but I'm not so sure right now. The thing is, when you have had the privilege since you were a little kid, you have no concept of how it feels like to live a normal life. To go to different shops and to be able to find toilet paper in this pandemic, yeah, I don't know, man. What do you guys think? Do you think this whole thing was only a joke, but people took it too far? Or do you think that Khloe and Kourtney were just ignorant as always? Let's talk about it in the comments. And remember to like and share and become part of our Curious Sips family by subscribing to our channel. And also, don't forget about our Instagram account. So until next time.